Welcome back, one and all, to Amazon. Amazon, whatever is probably going to be pronounced in some way. So, we just got started on chapter 7, and there's no going back. Not that this is a very appealing view, somewhere I would want to go. Here is a bit more solid ground, so let's see what this is about. Oh, someone being very dead over there on the right. The geese to be flying this way. Not sure whether that is anything at all. At this point, can't really tell. But this guy looks like he has had a really bad day. Okay, so kind of seems like someone is looking for well, some manner of immortality. In how many games has that ended up working well? Cigarette butts. No? Okay, that's firearm cartridge. Dude, that's bullet casings. Don't be dumb like that. Well, I guess you could tell by the smell. Fair enough. Do anything with the box? Okay, so this should have finished an investigation apparently. Antonio Alvarez, a scared little man. Yeah. Pro tip, by the way, if your native language isn't English, when you write guides for a game in English, try to play the game in English and use the English terms, not translate them yourselves, please. Just, asking for a friend or something, I guess. Okay, read article with a piping newly filled cup of tea. Alexandre Valenbois developed his obsession with Amazon in the late 1920s thanks to a college friend who was an Amazon native, a certain Antonio Alvarez, a young law student with whom Valenbois and the young priest Makowski set off on an unlikely expedition to Amazon. But Alvarez did not stop there. He went on to overthrow the government and establish a dictatorship which still reigns unchallenged over Amazon to this day. During his studies in France, Alvarez seemed convinced that he had been entrusted with a sacred mission for his country, to bring it progress. A vague catch-all notion that clearly leans towards a Western-style industrialized society. This has resulted in a seemingly unrelenting fight against his country's indigenous traditions and an economic shock from which the country has failed to recover. Yeah, dictatorships don't often work out well, do they? And while Valenbois seemed to roundly condemn his old friend's tyranny, he still tried to use his connections with him to get a visa for Amazon. Further evidence, I suppose, of the moral ambiguity that seemed to characterize Valenbois. But above all, it was a sure sign of how strongly he felt about returning to Amazon to take back the great white bird egg. This visa request certainly explains why Alvarez refused to allow his old friend to return to Amazon. The old researcher's obsession with the Amazonian great white bird, apparently at the heart of many native rights and beliefs, would have been perceived by the authorities as a dangerous glorification of the customs which had been so implacably repressed over the decades. Well, despicable, but there is a logic to that at least. So it's not completely off the rails psychotic, just mostly at its root. Anyway, it even seems that this fear has transformed into a morbid anxiety for the old tyrant, whose decades of absolute power and unbounded megalomania seem to have led him into a kind of madness. His own troops whispered in corners, questioning his sanity. It was apparently public knowledge that Alvarez had been visiting the heart of the Amazon marshlands with increasing regularity, alone, even prompting his own head of security to have him monitored without his knowledge. Okay, well, I don't think you see that even in USA today. Yikes. Okay, well, little cups aside, let's see. Oh, it's not a boat, that is a hovercraft. And yeah. Oh, right, we can read the name of the boat too. We should apparently do that, but where? Oh, okay, maybe that was the stuff on the side. Presidential something or other. Yeah. Amazon Transporte Presidenciale. Okay, well, we just move forward. Flap dynamics. Well, you know, it does cut down on clicks when the game plays itself for you. Or when it has lengthy transitions like this one. Okay. I don't really know what I'm looking at, but the walkthrough apparently suggested some kind of temple. So that's good, I guess. But we can go up here and apparently look at stuff. Specifically this. Okay. This is going to be a clue or puzzle. I swear that on just about every single thing I know. No, wait, that's... I mangled that phrase. Let's just move on. Okay, someone is here who has a bit of an infirmity, and I don't believe it was this guy. Okay, well, let's just dive right in there. This is giving me Prometheus vibes. Hey, they're talking about me. I'll just grumble. Okay. Oh, pants?
Do you really know what power is?
Yeah, I've seen Xenogears on Xenogears Let's Play.
Of course not. Few people do.
Yeah, the AGO 5 with the beam cannon. Holy shit, that's power.
Women who are so worn out and tired that they no longer care to think. Yet they tremble with fear in your arms. Because power is always fear. The fear of the one who possesses it. But risks losing it. And the fear of being the victim of it. Like a dog being kicked away. And then the fear of growing older. Oh. You have come instead of Valenbois, haven't you? The poor fool. The white birds and all of that. The enemy of power, my friend, is not liberty. It's not democracy. It's not all of that miserable nonsense. The enemy of power is dreams. Dreams. Do you hear? I mean real dreams. Not those common mind-numbing fairy tales that anesthetize people while you kick them with your heel. I've always been very wary of those white birds and all that mythology. I wanted Amazon to be a great modern nation. A country that believes in progress. That believes in science and technology. But those damned Amazonians wallowed in that sappy romantic legend of the white birds. I wanted to make the people. I wanted them to be happy. Even if it was against their will. Oh. I won't let you go any further.
Well, does that count as famous last words? Wow. Okay, well, that's it for the dictatorship of this place. So, what? Did we just... did we win or something? Where are the end credits? Oh. So we can screw that to something, but why would I do that? Huh. That would make sense. That fit there. Oh. Hello? Okay. I think I did something correctly. Now I just open the window. Okay. Sounds good to me. Right. Now those sparkles around Alvarez there, I wonder what those are. Hoping I'll find out. Okay, I can't pick up the gun. That tells me this is a European game, not an American one. What the hell would I want to take these for? Okay, well, I think, well, at least the walkthrough thinks that we just finished another investigation. Let's see, it's not quite how they present the name here. Alvarez, a president to protect. Despite his not refusal but reluctance Yeah. The writer's native language was not English. Confirmed. Well, anyway, read the article. I found Antonio Alvarez at the top of the Temple of Light, diminished and paranoid. His mental state seemed to incite him to commit one last crime before his demise. It appears that the dictator's security chief was concerned about his increasingly frequent solitary visits to the temple. He even wrote an official security note imploring him to accept an escort there. However, Alvarez seemed to act of his own accord, ultimately forcing his security chief to bypass his authority. The officer allegedly secretly ordered the dictator's pilot to monitor him. Alvarez must have discovered and interpreted these orders as a betrayal. Near the presidential shuttle, I found what appeared to be the body of the unfortunate pilot. Further up towards the temple, I then found more bodies of soldiers, likely the president's close guard, whom he had presumably deceived into aiding his ascent up the temple stairs before executing them. I'd imagine by making them believe they would not suffer the same fate as the pilot. These soldiers thus became the final victims of the bloodthirsty despot, who now lies very dead and rotting on a stone throne at the ass end of nowhere. That's one way to go. I wouldn't mind if the Cosmo Canyon in Final Fantasy VII whatever the hell looked like this. Yeah. I want to look at that pot, but the game won't let me. Boo. So... now what? Okay, apparently that finishes another investigation? Huh? I am on a roll. Wait. Was Alvarez free? I'm not seeing that anywhere here, though. The all. Can you read this? No, I think we did. I don't know what's going on. Huh. Well, it says there's supposed to be an investigation here. Was Alvarez afraid of Volomboir's return? But I'm not seeing it, so we'll just ignore that and carry on. Yeah. I didn't just screw myself by sticking the what's the name in there? Did I? Okay, I can do more examination, but I can't get anything from you. It seems I'm supposed to put, well, put the traditional scepter back there where I put the statuette. You know, why don't we just end the episode here. I will fart around a little, and if I can't figure out how to put the scepter in here, I'll just see if I can do a checkpoint reload or whatever. And I'll see you in the next episode.